You're listening to the Accordion to Me podcast with Veronique Medrano. Hi, I'm Veronique, and on this week's episode, we get to chat with the meme king of the Rio Grande Valley, Gene de la Garza. Born and raised in Welcaso, the educator, writer, and filmmaker spreads the gospel of the Puro 956 all over the world. Quite literally. If you haven't seen his socials, you'll see he's literally been all over the world. And today we talk about the power of creating where you're from and also the power of the almighty meme. This podcast is sponsored by Cricket Wireless. I recently made the switch to Cricket, and they removed the extra hassle of staying connected and calling within the US and Mexico. And trust me, that is always an issue with every other service provider except for Cricket. Make the switch and join the Cricket comunidad with me, Veronique. And if you think that's too good to be true, then download the Try Cricket app from the App Store to start your free trial of nationwide 5G that covers 99% of folks in the US. It's just one reason why people who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
One trial per person, 5 people per home address. An unlocked GSM-compatible smartphone is required. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. For 5G coverage, see cricketwireless.com/map for more details.
Thank you very much for joining me today. We only spoke online for like how long? Like 3 years, it feels?
Yeah. No, it's great. Thanks for having me, for real. This is awesome.
I just love the fact you're super decked out. You're super Texas decked out, even though there's Los Angeles there. We're going to blur that.
Yeah, we gotta take that out. Yeah, gotta take that out.
But you're super decked out, and it's wonderful to have you here to just chat about you, how you started, and just the overall influence that you have. I know we were talking off camera, so let's bring some of that into here. You born and raised in Welcaso, but yet you're all over the world. Tell us a little bit about how that duality comes into play.
Well, I've always felt like I was always meant to like travel and just explore. I've lived here in the Valley for so long, and I just wanted to be able to see what's out there so I can, take little things from other cultures and bring it down here. Because I feel we're so sheltered here. I mean, we're in our own little bubble, and we manage, but there's a lot of things that you can bring from somewhere else that can probably better this place.
When's the first time you put a sticker somewhere? Because that is one of those things that is very iconic of you on your socials. You put the Puro 956 on different things around the globe. And right. I say the globe because I think you also recently visited the pyramids.
Yeah.
You have visited some really iconic places. So where's the first place that you put the sticker on and then got feedback about it?
New York City. I was just there like 2 years ago, and I put a sticker up the Brooklyn Bridge, and then a little bit near the One World Trade Center. And immediately, maybe like a week later, my neighbor was there, and he was able to like post a picture with it in front of it, and some other people were there, and they found it. So New York City, and then it was Chicago, and then it was all these other national parks that I've been to. And then, of course, Egypt and Greece. So it's been cool.
And so, for you, what is the importance of putting that there? Because some people will be like, oh, my God, he's just putting up a sticker. Why is that important? That's just, tú sabes, mugrero. The very Valley vibe of, ay, nomás es mugrero. Yeah. Why? So why is it important that it's there?
I don't know. I guess, how we are with, putting our stamp on something. I mean, apparently we went to the moon and we put our American flag up there. So it's kind of like putting your stamp on something. And I want to make it straight. Like, I'm not putting it where there's no stickers there. Like, people are already putting stickers there, so I might as well add one to all the other stickers that are there. So the idea was, I had these stickers from a video that I worked on, maybe I think in 2020. So they were just laying around, and I knew I was going places. So I was like, let me go ahead and take these stickers and I'll stick it somewhere. And maybe someone that's either living there or visiting that place can go and take a picture of it and kind of, tag me or whatever. But really didn't think it was going to go that far. I mean,
not to where it is now.
Right.
It almost feels like a scavenger hunt of sorts for the Valley when they travel abroad.
Right. It's cool. I didn't think it was going to like get to that point, but it is pretty cool because I'll end up taking a picture of it and I'll put the location with the street, maybe even the coordinates and things like that. So they can go find
Really?
it. Yeah.
Wow. So like, where can people find that? Like, is there like a Google map like set where like you can see where all of the coordinates are,
Right.
or do you have it on a website, or do you just kind of put it up online and that's it?
See, I thought about doing that, but I just kind of like take a picture of it, put it online, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. I did think about doing that. And that's one thing that like maybe in the future I'll get started with. The problem is that stickers don't last long, you know? So like I would be afraid that
You put the coordinates and then
yeah,
next
and
thing
it's
you know.
not there.
Okay.
And, you know, they might put a sticker over it, and that's usually what happens with sticker slaps. So that would be awesome. Maybe finding a sticker that can last a long time through weather and all that, and doing something like that.
Sticker slap. You
Yeah,
just said that. So
sticker
what
slap.
is that?
I mean, I've heard it before, and it's come out before where someone just sticks a sticker somewhere, wherever that may be. They can put it on their. I have a binder that has stickers. They can put it on their water bottles.
I was about to say I have a bunch on my laptop.
Yeah,
So like,
laptop. There you go. So yeah, like that's just a name that I mean we associated with sticker slapping, and you just kind of slap a sticker wherever you are or on items that you care for.
you're out there, pushing, 956 in this very like organic way, just by sticker slapping. But there's another thing that you do that is one of the other reasons why we ended up connecting outside of on memes, because we have been in each other's spaces because of the memification of the valley, the Bronzeville Mountains. If you've ever seen them, they're quite luscious and luxurious, and we just keep them hidden from all of you. But but no, not Netflix. Netflix had to just out the bag of the Bronzeville Mountains, I guess. And so, there was that. But then, you do this thing where you highlight people from the valley. So tell us a little bit about that, what I call a program, really. It's you're picking people and you do rounds of this. So tell us what it's called, just in case people want to search it, because it is searchable online. And why did you start that?
It's called RGV People You Should Know, and I think for a lot of it, like the reason why I started it is because it just gave me an opportunity to highlight people that have done something. I think not enough flowers are given, and I'm wearing flowers right now. Not enough flowers are given to people that have done amazing things. I think a lot of people down here do not get that, that recommendation or. Oh my God, I came into the word recognition. And I just felt like it was time to maybe since I have a small little platform, why not use that platform to spread positivity and get people to, maybe know about the person that they don't know about. So that's the reasoning behind it. And there's nothing other than that, just to highlight people. I think it's very important, especially here. Maybe there's a child out there that has a dream and they can look at a person that's their neighbor and see, hey, like they're doing this, I can too. Mm-hmm. So why not? I think here in the Valley, we do have a lot of negativity, and it's time. We got to change, the ways of thinking, especially here, that negativity is just not it. It's, life runs on positive and negative energy, and it's always better to spread positivity than negativity, for sure.
And I know there's going to be people who say, oh, well, like you can't have one without the other. You got to deal with the negative, and totally understandable. Life is life. But at the same token, you're very correct. This program and these things that you're doing, you're not just saying it, you're acting on it. And I commend you for that. Like it's one of those things, like outside of the memes, which whether they're verbal, they're text memes, or they're full on like memes that you create or you share. I think that that's just an aspect of like, yes, I can poke fun at the Valley. Yes, I can do these things. Yes, I can talk about, funny because I'm from here. But at the end of the day, you have this platform of positivity against that negativity. And it's so commendable. And so I'm giving you flowers now.
Thank you. Thank you.
For that positivity. Kind of dig into it with me, the negative spaces of the Rio Grande Valley. When did you experience it, and how did that change you as a person?
I don't know if I can personally say I've been affected by it, but I do understand, like, on a political level with the whole border wall and immigration and things like that. There's always a negative aspect that maybe the rest of the country knows or feels or thinks about the valley. Um, but I think overall, like, there's negative people all over the world. It's not here, and maybe it's a jealousy. Maybe it's that they didn't have a dream, or maybe their dream failed, and maybe they don't want to see someone else dream like come to fruition. So I can't say like I've always had a pretty like close circle, and a circle that's been you know uh very supportive of what I wanted to do. So I just know like there's always going to be negativity. It's yin and yang, like you said, like, but yeah, I feel like we could spread more positivity here beyond the stuff that you see on TV, you know? So that's kind of like where I guess the progress that I want to see is just positivity rather than negativity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, you have this platform for memes and for these programs that highlight Valley talent and RGV talent that goes beyond just this area, because you're doing it online and there's people, from all parts of Texas, all parts of the world. It is the internet that people are watching and seeing and engaging. And so did you see that for yourself when you started doing this?
To be honest with you, when I first started, I got really into watching a lot of YouTube videos, watching a lot of stuff online, like content. And I had started a YouTube channel, and I really got into filmmaking. I really got into like wanting to make videos and start creating content. And I wasn't really getting too much attention off of just YouTube. So I decided, let me make a Facebook page and start making content about and I was making it about myself, which I figured like I'm kind of boring. Like there's nothing really going on in my life that's like going to be interesting to anybody. So why not tell stories of other people or subjects? So that's what I started doing. I had made a video called "This Is Your RGV" and started highlighting and aspecting the valley. And I put it on YouTube, and it didn't really get that much attention. Then I created a Facebook page and put it on there, and like within a week or two, it was up to like 200,000 views, 500,000 views. I think just like maybe last year probably went to 1 million. So it's got some views on there. And then I just started realizing, wait a minute, like this is kind of working. Why don't I talk about where I'm from? Why don't I highlight where I'm from, what people do here, what we like, how we're like, things like that. So I started I made another video called Signs You're from the RGV.
Oh, yes.
So that one's like at 500,000 views. And it just domino effect after that. So I just, the last video that I made in 2020 is called Puro 956. That one has, some views too. So it was just all about that. And like, videos are hard to make. And they're super hard. You have to write a script. You have to do your research. You have to go out and film. You have to edit. There's a lot of things that you do. So in between, because I work by myself. In between, I was like, okay, look, how do I get people to like follow the page, and like maybe when I create a video, I can have more of a reach. So that's when the memes came about.
Okay.
They were just like, it's quick, you have an app, and you put words and pictures together, and like that's all it is.
And for you even go beyond that. You also just do words. I think we were talking about that. You just sometimes put text. Yeah. And one of them recently came up for me. I died laughing, especially when you start going into the comments and people just start interacting. And that's the beauty of memes, is people on their own start like adding to the joke. And that's where I'm like, bro, down in the comments, that's like, it adds to the meme. Yeah. It's almost like the cherry on top of the meme.
I got ratioed. Do you know what that means?
What does that mean?
Ratioed. So it's like a I don't know if it's like a Gen Z thing or whatever.
I feel like that's a Twitter thing.
Yeah,
it used to, well, when Twitter used to be Twitter, now it's just X. Yeah. I feel like all my exes live on X.
So what it is like I put it out there and the comments just started rolling in. And I had like 500 likes on the on the actual post itself. Then some guy said Donna and Mercedes are the step kids with the silver teeth. And that has way more likes. Obviously, it's not as ratio. Even my mom put Ed Couch Elsa are the step kids or something like that. And she got more likes. I was like, my mom's funny. Like, she's like low key funny. So that was the beauty.
You were telling me that your mom beat you at.
What's the meme? Yeah.
So you got it from somewhere.
Yeah.
It was passed down to you. The bloodline of memes was passed down to you.
Word. She's like super funny. But yeah, like I didn't realize that was gonna happen. But you start reading those comments and people were just going off, like just saying whatever.
Oh my God. But that's the beauty of it. Like even when you get ratioed on your own thing, like it's that sense of just community, because there is a sense of community with memes where people are like almost like the brother and sister situation where they're like, look, I can make fun of you, but if anyone else makes fun of you, their ass is mine. Like straight up. And that's how very like protective the Valley is of its own jokes. Yeah. Like it goes, okay, párate. Like chill, bro. Like I can make the joke. You can't make that same joke. Right. And so, you know, you're talking about that and you started doing the memes, and then like, how did you finally see that synergy kind of?
So I don't know. I think to me, what I get happy seeing the connection that people have. Like that's all that matters at this point. It's just the connection in the community and being able to like see what people will say about the place they live in. It's awesome. I don't know. It feels good.
That's wonderful. Yeah. You're doing these videos and you're seeing this interaction. And so how does that influence your own personal creativity and you creating? Because you said you made these in like 2010 or so. And how does that like add to the filmmaking of now? Is there other projects that you're working on, other things that, you know, you want to kind of really dig into that you haven't yet?
Yeah, absolutely. I won't get too deep into them because they're works in progress, but there's a lot of stories here that a lot of people don't know. Our own local history is pretty. I hate to say this, but sad, especially when you go back deep into how the Valley was started. And there's a lot of dark history out there that I kind of want to uncover and show people because I think. I'm going to be honest, like we're living in a facade. I think a lot of people don't know how the Valley got started. And it's a lot of things that I've been wanting to explore and share out because you don't learn about this in your local history or history at all. There's a lot of missing chapters. So creatively, I've been watching. I'm a student of the game. I think we're all students of what we love. So I've been trying to get better at different things, the writing, the editing, the filming, my own voice and how to get a message across. When I first started making videos, like this is the RGV, I noticed that I would speak really quickly and I wouldn't enunciate words. And I have to thank the Valley for bringing that up because they would make comments. I didn't understand what you said here. Like you got to talk slower, things like that.
They rib you, but I mean, you can always kind of tell, especially online, like constructive criticism between personal taste criticism. Yeah. Like, especially like podcasting, videos, they're like, oh, well, I love the content, but I hate your voice. It's like, ma'am, that ain't gonna change. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Like to me, I don't read bad comments, or I try not to read comments. I don't get a lot of them, but I'm saying like that can bring you down. If you get in deep into the comments, you start reading negativity, man, it will sit with you for a long time. So I learned not to pay attention to those. Just pay attention to the positive comments because it's just there's a world of positive comments over like the few bad comments. And even let's just say if it's flipped the other way. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why content creators continue to say once you get to a certain level, you just cannot. You just gotta you got to, because it's really easy to get sucked into that. So that's wonderful advice.
For sure.
Truly.
For sure. Yeah. It's just it's a world you don't want to get into because it's better to like, you know, highlight the positive comments because you can tell like, okay, these people generally care, like they're fans, they like what you're doing. And then the negative comments, they'll be whatever.
What's your favorite Valley icon?
Well, I always talk about Tim Smith. I think he's a G. I like Tim Smith. I can't believe I'm sitting on the chair this is awesome for me. Yeah, to sit on the same chair Tim Smith's been on is like amazing.
You're sitting in the same chair.
He's the GOAT.
He is. He is the GOAT. In regards to that Tim Smith episode, that just came completely out of just me going, how can I level up season 2? And it was Tim Smith and getting you in the chair, like both of y'all. Because for me, you guys have this impact that is just not discussed enough. Like never like sit down, discussed. Right. It's like, we just assume. Like we just like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, of course, Gene has impact in the Valley. Of course, Tim Smith has impact in the Valley. Of course, Bronco 956 has impact in the Valley.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah, you go through that and you just go, of course.
Yeah.
Like, no shit.
Yeah. But Tim Smith, I mean, everyone obviously knows Tim Smith. Tim Smith's been in the game for so long, since like the curly hair and the phone calls and like the what did he do? He did that show with like the high school kids. What's that show called?
Oh my God. I do not know, but I know he was talking about like he's done so many programs. Yeah. And he's done so many programs like weather education and stuff that's like very Bill Nye-ish and so much stuff that's very Valley. And he loves this place. Yeah. Loves this area. Yeah. And if you guys haven't listened to the episode, this is just a positive thing to say. Please listen to it. It is very insightful on him as a person. But it came out of nowhere, truly. Yeah. Like I was like, okay, let me see if I can get him on. Yeah. He's like a mystery. He's the man of mystery of the Valley. Yeah. Well, let me be honest with you. You get Tim Smith on here 10, 20 times before you get me. I should never be on that level. Get out of here. Like it's Tim Smith. If you guys schedule Tim Smith every day, and before bringing me on, it should be Tim Smith all the way. Because, like, he's a legend. He's a legend. What's your favorite Tim Smithism? I mean, it's got to be the geography thing, right? Like the whole Tim Smith's geography class. Yeah, I mean, I have a shirt that says Tim Smith's geography School of Geography that I take everywhere when I go hiking on the national park. I've had people ask me, "Hey, where's that school?" And I say it's in the Valley. It's an inside joke, and they actually like, I like your shirt. Where is that school? Every time I go. And these people from all over the world, like when I go hiking. I mean, I was wearing it in Egypt when I went to the pyramids. Yes, I saw that. I saw that and I'm dead. Like, can you imagine like just the gospel of Tim Smith is just all over the world everywhere. As well as the Puro 956. Yeah. I've been wanting to hopefully make a sticker of them and put a sticker on them somewhere. Like that would be super cool. Oh my God, that would be like... Two worlds collide. Yeah, it would be awesome. And I really want to make a shirt that says Tim Smith is the GOAT and just wear it everywhere. And yeah, it would be cool. I was telling him quite recently, I was like, oh, you know what? Like, we need to get you like a little care package, like of all the Tim Smith things. And he's so funny. He's just such a sweetheart. Oh, yeah. He's such a wonderful human being. And he doesn't take all this stuff like, oh yes, I have airs. I'm a meme. Nah. No, he's very down to earth human being, but that's one of the icons of the Valley. And you know, it was interesting when Grupo Frontera was like really hitting it, and you were the first one out there championing for them. I wouldn't say the first, but I say this in the sense of just like the pages that are local that like again have that impact. And in your comments, this is where I go back to your audience. We're just you've cultivated them. You've cultivated a positive space because like anything negative, there was people in there fighting for these people of the Valley and this representation. Yeah. And so how does it feel knowing that you have cultivated a positive community? It's great. I really enjoy when there is someone that has something negative to say, and then you got the followers that will back. Either they can back me up or back the person that I'm highlighting up, which is great. Like I don't have to do anything. I can sit back and like not read the comments, and like I know that someone's gonna take care of that person. They're just gonna say something, and then that person's gonna feel dumb for saying what they said. But it's great. I mean, their story is amazing. The fact that like within the year they started in the garage, and then look at them. They're like on Good Morning America. They're collaborating with Bad Bunny. It's just amazing. It's amazing that those guys, you know, got all together. They're from McAllen, Edinburgh, and just have done what they've done. It's pretty. I'm following bio, and I'm just looking at all the places that you know they're at, and it's amazing. And all I can
picture or imagine is them saying Valley slang wherever they're at. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, they can be, I'm sure one of those guys makes a joke and they're like, like they do something.
I haven't seen their Apple Music documentary, which Charlie Bella did sound for.
Yeah,
it's another
awesome.
person that's been on the pod, by the way, that's worked with them, with Apple Music, and that just recently came out. So please go check that out. Again, this is a space where I'm just this is the love letter to the RGB. I feel like this is what this episode is.
Yeah, for sure.
And so Charlie worked with them, and I want to watch it because that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna be looking for the.
It's got to come out. It's for sure. And
they're out there in the desert.
Yeah, they're there. It's coming out for sure. It's hard not to like. I know at least 5 people that will say something and then there's an after. I have a friend that for everything. It's just something about the Valley that we just have cultivated ourselves and just have stuck with it. Of course, I'm 32 years old, so I don't know like the new stuff, I guess, cuz and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that we've created, our own language, basically. Mm-hmm. The Valley had its own language.
It does.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
How do you feel that allows us to navigate in the world in the sense of, our language versus, how the world perceives border towns at large?
I don't know. I think there's a big dichotomy, but it's weird because I'm sure we all have this kind of skill that we can, like, once we pass the palm trees, we have to turn down our valley and like make up a new character, like kind of fit in with everyone else. I feel like sometimes I do that. Like I don't know, depending on where I'm at, I'm able to turn it down because it might be too much for someone. And they'll sense like, this guy's not from here. But I'm sure that people don't do that and they're just out there and everywhere. So I don't know. Like it is what it is. I mean, everyone lives in a certain part of the world and they have something from that certain part of the world that they take with them. And it's just something, I think you can take someone out of the Valley, but you can't take the Valley out of them. And that's just true to who we are, and I love it. I love our culture. I love who we are as a people. And we also have like, for us, it might be a little hard because we're probably, like, my Spanish sucks. I'm terrible at Spanish. But so I can probably fit into this. I'm not Mexican enough to be Mexican, and I'm also not American enough to be American. It's kind of like something like
right smack in the middle.
Yeah, we're in the middle. Like it's just we're in a blend of Mexican and American. Like that's what it is. And we're in that like this border areas that like that.
It blends the cultures together, and so we're middle people. We're like the bridge almost. I feel, and many times because of that code switching. Truly, like I completely understand that code switch, and I'm constantly like just different, and I'm aware of it. And it's not that I'm putting on airs, because I think a lot of the times we don't engage with code switching as something to be proud of. We say, oh, well, like it almost feels like it's a put on, and it's not. It's just that I'm fully aware of the spaces that I walk into where I need to speak Spanish. Like I can literally go from speaking Spanish to my grandmother to speaking English to my mother, then, speaking English and Spanish to my aunt, because we're in the middle of a conversation, to them being really proper in a more Anglo setting, and, knowing my time and place, because I know what I'm representing. I'm a public figure. I'm fully aware of that. Yeah. And I'm sure you're aware of that too. You are a public figure at this point. You're an educator, you're a filmmaker, you're a writer. There's a different set of expectations for that.
Right.
And so to me, it's just like, okay, I'm balancing, but it is difficult, especially when there's constant conversations about the no sabo kids, the kids who don't completely speak Spanish, or the people that are kind of like good right in between. Yeah. And so did that ever come to play with you as you've continued to expand your creativity, your art, your brand over the last few years?
Well, I don't know, as far as a language thing like that, that's a big issue for me, because I know that like being fluent in Spanish will take you more places when it comes to like connecting with a more Spanish audience, and like if I ever had an opportunity to go on like the noticias and talk, like, like how am I going to, I'm going to be like Selena, trying to like you know, but in
Me
her
siento
Spanish,
muy excited.
yeah, and her Spanish is way better than I am. So, yeah, it's like, but creatively, I know that like with the issue being, you know, being not enough being, I mean, you're not Mexican enough to be Mexican and not American to be American. There's a blend that I'm trying to make, just trying to push content that could favor both sides. I don't know, like, if that makes any sense, but
I mean, it makes sense for you.
Yeah.
It makes sense for what you want. Again, you've done such a great job at cultivating a space that to know where you're at and wanting to cultivate a space for people like yourself, people like us, you know, there's so many people who fit in that middle space that don't get seen enough in pop culture. Early in 2020, I was in an accident, and the consequences I was living with afterwards was a lot to handle all at once. So if you're like me and trying to recover while trying not to lose your car, lose work and therefore money, and super injured, and have a huge growing stack of hospital bills to pay, then you need a professional to get the care you need. In case of an accident, you need a lawyer to protect your rights and your wallet. And honestly, you don't have to look any further than that simple phrase by going to incaseofanaccident.com or encasodeaccidente.com for a free consultation 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if the person who suffered the accident wasn't you, but maybe it was your tia, your abuelita, or your second cousin twice removed, don't worry. Everyone at incaseofanaccident.com or encasodeaccidente.com can speak Spanish, hablan español, and they can take text messages on WhatsApp at 888-990-0911. Don't forget to tell them that Veronique Medrano from Accordion to Me sent you. You don't want the vibes to end? Accordion to Me, you're in luck because I'm the advertiser. You hear that? Go listen to my music on your favorite streaming platform by searching Veronique Medrano. The songs that you need to add to your playlist right now are Mezcal Maria featuring Beatriz Gonzalez and my new Spanish Tejano country tune, Que Hueva, that recently won Nashville's Music Row magazine's Discovery Award. Also, if you're wanting to sport some merch, we'll be launching pod and music merch on my website, www.veroniquemedrano.com. New merch will go up each month, so hurry while it lasts and get some matching merch for you and your mom. You know, so she wants some new swag? Boop, boop. This has been your paid ad read. Boop, boop. What is one of maybe one of your big goals here within the next few years when it comes to putting out content or putting out creative works that showcase that?
Well, for sure, documentary, something about the Valley, and then beyond that, like I just want to be happy. I want to be able to do what I love, which is filmmaking, and be able to travel and make talk about different stories. I have a history background. Not a lot of people know about this, so you're going to be the first to know about this. But especially maybe my audience or whatnot. But I'm my actual 9 to 5 is I'm a teacher.
Really?
I won't tell you what district I work for, but I'm a teacher. I'm a social studies teacher, and I love history.
Wow.
So that's why if you've noticed for the videos, there's a lot of history stuff there, especially about down here. So yeah, that's my 9 to 5, and I love it. I love teaching. I think kids are great, but it's something that I've been doing for a while now, and I kind of want to move on and do something that I can take that teaching aspect and my love for filmmaking and put those and blend those together and just be able to travel the world and talk about different stories, not just about our story, because of course our story is endless. We have a lot of stories to tell, but I want to be able to get out there, get out in the world and tell stories. And that's like really what I want to do. That's my big dream. Where beyond Netflix or not, I mean, to me, like nowadays, you don't need those big Netflix. YouTube is great. Like you can do it on your own. You know, and sometimes there's gatekeepers out there, and you can just do your stuff on your own now. Like that's the beauty of the internet, and it could be any platform. It could be Instagram, it could be YouTube, it can be TikTok, it can be Facebook. You have a lot of platforms at hand.
Yeah.
So as long as you tell a good story and you know what you're telling and people like gravitate to that story, then you're going to be successful. And to me, I think positivity is more successful. It should be more successful than negativity. Obviously, a lot of people don't see it that way, but that's what I want to do. Filmmaking, whether it be on Netflix or
Anywhere.
YouTube, or anywhere. Yeah, because that's, and just telling stories, documentaries, docuseries, things like that. Yeah.
And wow. So what is something that as a teacher, because you were talking earlier about how much history is kind of under the surface of the valley. And so for you, in what ways do you feel that the youth are being given a disservice when it comes to reading and education in the current climate?
Well, here's the big issue. The education system is not good. And it's not good because we are stuck to a standardized test that they want them to take. So, and it's also just a lot of the stuff on a curriculum. And I'll say Texas, it's just going to be whatever they want you to learn. You know, there's a lot of missing chapters in the textbooks that these kids, especially local history, like there should be a class. We have a Texas history, we have world history, we have U.S. history, but there should be a class or at least a semester of learning local history. You don't get that until you get to college, the university.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot of stuff. I was taking my history classes, and I took a Mexican American course, and I learned a lot of things about what happened here in our own neighborhood, backyard. Yeah. I mean, we have the last battle of the Civil War in Brownsville. There's all these things that happen just here on the Mexican Revolution was right here. Pancho Villa was right here. There's a lot of stuff that happened here that we don't talk about. You don't learn it until you get into the university, and these kids miss out on that. And
how many of them, I mean, there's nothing against anybody, but it's like nowadays, how many people are really going to college and university, given how expensive it is, given just how much time it takes, and I tell people this all the time. I used to do school tours, and I even told them then, I said, like, college and university isn't the end all. Because that might not be the space for you. Like it was for me sometimes, like you, but there's other people that they get more out of technical schools. Go where you feel like you can get a skill that you can be passionate about, that you can really excel at, and that will fulfill you, obviously, and make you money. No shit. When are they going to finish the McAllen Expressway?
I don't, it's going to just section off and continue to go.
Like 2030?
I love the memes that come out about that.
2050?
Like the
like the Jetsons one. Like it's gonna look like a futuristic. Like we're gonna have flying cars, and they're still not gonna be done with that expressway.
That's why I don't like coming to McAllen. Like it was a pain just to get here.
I'm sorry.
No, it was good. It was good. But you figure it out. You figured out how to take the back roads. Like some people are taking old 83. Some people are taking 107. However you can, you manage. You figure it out. And you just, I mean, phones are great nowadays because they'll factor in the time that you're going to arrive here with the traffic that's hold up. Like I think there was an 8-minute traffic hold up, like right in front of like that one section in the McAllen Expressway, which is in front of like Best Buy and like Topgolf and all those places. Yeah, that area.
What's crazy is, I remember a time when that construction was not there.
Yeah,
I lived here during the time when you could literally say, "Oh yeah, I'll be here in an hour."
Yeah.
And that was what it was. Yeah. Now it's like, bro, you're going to be there for a while. You're going to be there for a while.
Well, it's because we're growing. The valley is growing fast, and they're just preparing for that. It's crazy the amount of people.
It's growing at a faster rate than I think we're ready for or we're aware of. Because I think that's been kind of one of those things as I've been living here and working, and despite, traveling as well, that's something that I just keep noticing, like more and more things are here, more and more experiences are here.
Yeah.
Like quite recently I went to like a latte art competition. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
I was like, what is latte art competition? It's literally, okay, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
So like literally a bunch of people stand around looking at the barista bar where you get your coffee, and then you're watching a screen. They're showing you the art that they're making on the cup of coffee.
Really?
That was my experience. I've never done it before. I can now say that I've done it.
Wow.
I can now say that I did it. But it was a really interesting because this hits a completely different group of people that are like, oh no, this is like a cool thing. I've been to this before. It felt very much like art gallery for coffee.
Gotcha.
Like straight up, like you're going into a museum and looking at artwork for coffee, except it's competitive.
Yeah. See, that probably came because I think someone either lived in like, I would say that would come from Austin, right? Like that's.
You were going to say LA, weren't you?
LA too, it could be LA. But I feel, and this brings up a good point that I had made a while back about not like living here is great, right? But I think sometimes we have to go out and explore for ourselves. And I think that, and like even like the green spaces or the food truck parks that have, been made over the last few years here, that all that stuff is it's not from here. Like,
it's
either
not
from
from
LA,
here.
Austin, people live over there, or they go on a trip and they're like, hey, that would look cool here. And that's what's happening is we get stuff really late. Like we're kind of like 5-10 years behind sometimes.
Bruh, so sometimes we're 15 years
behind. Yeah. But that's what it takes. It really takes that to like, and some people may not like it because we're just like slow life, but the problem, the truth of the matter is, because of the growth and how many people we have here, we're going to start seeing these things, more construction, more businesses, because people always complain all the time, there's not enough to do here. And then like they leave and they complain. And I think we need to find some middle ground, because it's just going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to have more businesses. We're going to have more traffic. And that's the nature of the beast. It's going to happen.
It's wild to see downtown Bronzeville with people that are like 18 and like just walking downtown. Like it's wild.
Well, because Brownsville to me, I always like it's far, but I love Brownsville. Brownsville to me.
We're not talking about you far.
No, it's out there. From Westaco, it's about 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minute drive.
Because you guys don't have to deal with the McAllen traffic,
we don't.
So it's 45 minutes.
It's 45 minutes. But I love it. To me, out of all the cities, and I wish the Valley was more walkable and you can cycle. Ooh. But it's a walkable city, and it's beautiful. Brownsville is really beautiful, but it's got that, like, people walk the streets and cycle. Where? No, they don't walk over there?
Bruh.
I've seen people. Okay, here, I'll give you this. They have better bike lanes. Because I saw some bike lanes the last time I went.
Okay, I'll give you that. They're doing better about it, but the people still get hit.
Yeah, well, that's a sad part for sure. Because we don't
run over.
Because
that's not part of the culture. That's not part of the culture either. Like the culture of the Valley, like bikeable, walkable is not at all part of our culture. Yeah. Like I go to New York. I go to Tennessee. I go to Nashville a lot. I go to New York a lot. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I have work.
Yeah.
I work, okay? And I go to those places and I come back and it's such a culture shock for me.
Yeah.
Because I can literally go somewhere and walk. Like walk. You can see like, my watch. It'll be completely like all circles matched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because all I'm doing is walking.
Yeah.
Versus here, no, man, there's no way. There's no way I'm walking. Like, yes, maybe downtown, but I've parked somewhere.
Yeah.
I have parked somewhere. There's no way I can walk from downtown to my house. There's no way. It's not safe enough, at least the way I feel, that I could be like, oh, yeah, let me just walk.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, it's too damn hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the heat is one thing.
One time I came back from New York, 75. Yeah. Sensible 75.
Yeah.
Came back. It was 95. My brain didn't put A plus B together. Yeah. And I thought, I'll just park and walk around. I was dead sweaty.
Yeah.
I was like running through 3 bars of deodorant.
Yeah.
I was dying.
It's different out here. And it's just that humidity that's bad. Like, it was harder here when I went to Egypt over the summer. It was harder here. And you would think Egypt would be super, super hot. It's dry heat, but it was actually better there than it was here at that time that I was here. Because I think we were going through like a crazy heat wave this summer.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the temperature. I was
none
like,
of my plants
dang.
lived. None. I was trying to grow stuff and none of my plants survived. I'm sorry. R.I.P. to all the plants that I have loved.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to you.
It happens. It happens. But you know what? I'd rather live here in the heat than live where it snows all the time and it's cold and like.
I would prefer
you like that?
Yes, I love that.
Like,
I love the cold. I've been loving this weather.
Yeah.
I've been loving that it only probably has been getting up to 80, but that's just me. I know every person here in the valley is different.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because of my exposure to colder weather that I'm cool with it.
But how cold?
I've
snow cold, like where you're like I'm talking about like Minnesota cold, where it's like negatives. Because
I haven't been in negatives. I've been in really close to negatives.
It's snowing all the time, and you have to shovel snow. And then I
almost got like frostbite one time when I went to Chicago for the voice audition. I did wear the appropriate clothes, except for the gloves. The gloves was where I messed up. Yeah, no. I had gloves. It's the ones that are insulated, like that have that silver stuff in it. I did not have that. I just had like just gloves.
Yeah.
And I was dumb, and my fingers were starting to turn colors. And my mom's like, "What are you doing?" And I kept doing this,
trying to warm it up.
Yeah, and I'm like, I kept doing this. I'm like, and my mom's just like, "What are you doing? Are you trying to get directions?" And I'm like, "No, my hands are cold." And she pops it off.
Yeah,
and she's like, "Veronique," and so of course my very Mexican mom was like.
Aloe vera. She just gets a bag. Aloe vera. Let me put some aloe vera.
No. She was straight up like, I have another extra pair. Like this woman.
She had the whole time.
She literally is extra prepared. She is the woman that is extra prepared for everything.
Nice.
And so but this is me.
Thank God for mom.
Yeah, heck yeah. But this is me. Like this is where I say like I think everyone has their own like temperature that they're cool with.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
tolerance.
cold. Yeah. I feel like I have the reverse of, I don't know if it was this heat wave, but I definitely have the reverse of like the seasonal effectiveness disorder.
Yeah.
Where it's because I deal with so much heat that when I went into like cooler climates, suddenly I'm like, oh, I can tackle the world.
Yeah.
I can conquer all.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about like you, how cold was it when you got frostbite? How cold was it over there?
Heck if I know. I just knew it was the coldest day in Chicago history, so that's not fair.
Well, it gets really cold over there.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, we had gone to Chicago and is it Lake Michigan? Yeah, it's Lake Michigan.
Yeah, that it was frozen over.
A dip. No, we went in the summer. It was hot over there. It was like 90s, but like not valley. But that water in Lake Michigan was so cold in the summertime. And then people that live there, they're just like bathing in it and like enjoying it. I didn't get any toes in there. I got toes and I was out. I couldn't do it.
That was me in California. The first time I ever was in there. 14. I was 13 years old. Popped my little butt because I thought it was like South Padre. Like I had no context for Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, the warm waters of Gulf of Mexico compared to
the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And so I popped myself in there. You have never seen a person levitate off of water as fast as my 13-year-old self did because I jumped in again thinking it was warm, 60 degrees, boop, and ran. I walked on water that day.
Oh yeah.
You have been listening to the Accordion to Me podcast, which is made possible by listeners like you rating and reviewing the podcast. Every time you leave us a review, one of your haters loses their wings and their wallet and maybe their keys. So if you love the podcast, leave us some stars and a quick blurb. And if you hate the podcast, send it to your enemies. Either way, everybody wins. Bye. You know, we're talking about all these different things. You know, Valley, obviously we just went on a whole like moment.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
But we're coming up to the end of the episode, and usually I leave it for final words from our guest. What is life accordion to you?
Well, I think it's just it's like I feel like sometimes it could be scripted for you. I feel like we're all living in our own little worlds and we're navigating and typically I'm a valley boy that's kind of navigating this world and life to me here, especially, I would say it's like it's a palm tree, it's a taco, it's coffee, it's a car wash, it's dealing
Definitely
with
the
mechanics.
car wash.
The car wash. We love vehicles here. Like that's the thing, and I think that's why we have so many car washes. But yeah, like it's a learning experience, and you're picking up things from people that pass through your life, and you're just learning little things from little experiences. And every day is an experience, a chapter, and you're writing out your story as you see it, as it comes to you. To be here on this podcast is pretty freaking amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like that's not, I never expected anything like this. I don't really, I've gotten offers to come on people's podcasts, but I'm introverted, extroverted. Just depends. Like, I don't know, like,
I caught you on a good day.
yeah, you did. You did.
How many times did I try?
Yeah.
Like,
well, it's because
our schedules.
yeah.
Our
And
schedules have
I'm
been
more
crazy.
free on the weekends. But yeah, like during the week, I'm just shut down to work, and I even coach. So it's just like that I'm real busy on those terms. But yeah, like this is great, and I want it to continue, and I'm glad that I'm here on a positive note, like doing something positive, and that's important to me. Like just being able to highlight people that are doing positive things. Like this is great. Like this is cool. Love what you've been doing, and
Thank
other
you.
people that have done cool stuff, like Charlie, like Grupo Frontera, like a lot of people that have just been doing stuff, not only for themselves but for the place that they're from, the culture, and things like that. So yeah, life is a storybook that I'm just learning as I go.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Accordion to Me podcast. And as always, puro amor, puro besos, puro 956. Thank you for listening to Accordion to Me. The team behind this week's episode includes mixing and editing by Juan Pablo Diaz, theme music by Rodrigo Montalvo, produced by Javi G from MD Media. In-person recordings were done at the Podify Studios and remotely through Riverside FM. Accordion to Me is distributed through Anchor, and you can stream Accordion to Me wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. I'm your host and executive producer, Veronique Medrano. Puro amor, puro besos, puro Tex-Mex.
Never be on that level. Get out of here. Like it's Tim Smith. If you guys schedule Tim Smith every day,
Every day?
and before bringing me on, it should be
Tim Smith all the way.
Tim Smith all the way.